had an idea. So he sat us down and told us the idea of the prince who comes to America. And Eddie had written, I think, about 10 or 12 pages of it, freehand in a yellow notebook. And so we pitched that, or Eddie pitched it to the studio. And I'll never forget, we sat there and all the big shots in the studio were there because he was a big star. And he had a contract with them to deliver, I think, 7 films. And they wanted one for the summer, but they didn't have a script that they liked. So they were desperate for something. So Eddie told them the story of the African prince finding love in America. And Barry and I said nothing. We just sat there and nodded. Well, all these executives, it was the president of the studio, Ned Tannen, the chairman of the board. I mean, it was everybody was there. We said nothing. And they turned to us and said, would you guys write it? And we said, yeah. And then afterward, they came up to us and said, you guys were brilliant. So then they sent us off to write it. We had 5 weeks to write the script, beginning to end. They wanted it delivered in 5 weeks. So they sent us to New York to work with Eddie in Arsenio Hall, who's going to be in it. So they gave us an office at Gulf and Western building, which Paramount owned, or they owned them, or something at the time. And we're working on the idea. We always wrote out loud. I talked to would-be comedy writers, and I say, you have to learn how to write out loud. It's not an internal thing. When you're working with a group, you have to be in the character. You have to talk like the characters. You have to work it out, you know? So we're working on the barbershop scenes from Coming to America with Eddie and Arsenio in this building. And there was a screenwriter next door to us, had an office. What is that guy's name? Somebody will know. He wrote Taxi Driver and that guy. Anyway, he was a serious guy. And he was writing a script at the time, doing an adaptation for, anyway, he was writing a script there. And we're in there, and we're jamming on these characters from the barbershop. So we're saying things like, pound for pound, what's going on? We're talking like that. We're going on real loud voices. So this guy sends his assistant over and asks if the cleaning crew could please hold it down.